Hi folks, Aaron with Fleetistics, and today I'm going to take a little bit more time to talk about fuel cards and really what the options are in the market space today. There's really been some great advancements in fuel cards and really going beyond fuel cards, and every business needs some type of capability of purchasing fuel or purchasing supplies while in the field, and the question becomes, what is a good tool for that? And some of the things that I've seen lately have just been fantastic compared to what we used to see and what would be really viewed as a traditional fuel card. We're talking about the integration of fuel purchasing with Visa and all of the benefits of having a credit card, but all of the benefits of having a fuel card. And really, what does that look like? It looks like a lot of great opportunities for fleet operators. We're talking about access to fuel any place Visa is taken, which is virtually everywhere, right? And then with some major, gas stores and chains and things like that, you're looking at anywhere 4 to 10 cents per gallon in savings right there, right? And if you've got a vehicle, let's say it's Ford Rangers or something like that in the pest control business hauling any amount of supplies, you're filling that truck up every other day, especially on more rural routes, right? So you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars a month just on fuel on top of all the other expenses that you have in normal fleet operations. So saving 4 to 10 cents per gallon can be an astronomical benefit in addition to the other controls that come along with these cards, the information that you get. And what we're talking about today is really integrated with the Geotab GPS and telematics platform. And so it's using that information to verify some things like, hey, was the vehicle at the gas station when the purchase was made? Looking at things like fuel tank levels and fuel tank capacities and doing some comparisons with those things to make sure that the amount of fuel being pumped is equal to what the tank can actually hold at any given time based on a percentage of the tank being full from the telematics system. So it really allows for monitoring the fuel quote unquote slippage that could potentially take place, even if someone's filling up cans and things like that on a trailer or with another vehicle. Eventually, you can catch on to that stuff because the calculation of the miles per gallon, not coming off the vehicle, but what's actually can be calculated based on fuel and miles driven, can start to identify vehicles that might have 4 or 5 miles per gallon when every other vehicle in the fleet's running 12 to 15, let's say. So the data that's available is also super. Um, the the other part that's really super interesting to me is the administration aspects. And it's nice to get the sales pitch and presentation of all the flashy stuff and all the big savings and what have you. But really, when I evaluate a solution, it's always looking at the administrative side of the house because that's what you have to live with forever. And if you're saving 4 cents a gallon, but you're spending 10 times as long administering the platform, then no, A, you're going to get poor adoption from your people. B, you may be spending more in payroll versus more in fuel purchases. So it all kind of evens out. But looking at this particular platform, the back end administration is super. And I'm going to tell you one of the simplest things, and some of you will feel my pain in this, in that there is a major fuel card company out there that when you need a new fuel card, you have to request it, and then you have to go through their customer support desk, which is brutal, and then you make this request, and then you get a card, sometime in the future, and you're probably going to pay for the shipping of the card too, as opposed to having maybe 5 or 10 spare cards sitting on your desk or in your desk that aren't active. And then when somebody leaves, you need to deactivate their card. You can go straight to the web, click a button, that card shut off. You can pull another card out of your desk and hand it to the next guy, and you can hit another button, and you've now activated that card. So that step or capability in and of itself is a huge value add in taking care of daily activities required to run your fleet. And I've been in the service business. I know how important it is. I need to get something done and I need to move on to the next thing, right? And you don't have time to circle back and circle back and circle back on the same thing. You want to get something done and you want to move on, right? So that's what this particular platform allows you to do. So in looking at some of the other capabilities, right now you can get a $250 credit for signing up. There are some stipulations, you got to spend a certain amount of money in the first 3 months, things like that. But as fleet operators, you'll hit that number very, very easily. You will get reports not only on time, date, location. You'll get the ability to actually control what the card can and cannot purchase. So you can say, hey, you can buy everything at a gas station, or you can buy nothing at a gas station, right? Or you can buy up to this dollar amount, or up to this number of gallons, or this type of fuel, or you can have so many fill ups in a certain period of time. The list goes on and on of the flexibility that you have in putting controls on this, and that's where we have to help get you set up. But once you're configured, I mean, you're off and running in life. It's just going to be so much easier managing these purchases. Think about it. If all you have is fuel cards and somebody needs to purchase a pipe fitting at the local big box store, and they don't have any money, right? What are their choices? Either they have to buy it on their own credit card or pay for it. They have to do an expense report. They got to bring the receipt in. You're paying them for all that time. Or you can give them one card that can do all those things and have the controls and information, knowing that you would be able to spot anything that was inaccurate in the purchasing process. And the other part is that if you set like spending limits, let's say you put a $300 spending limit on any transaction for the day, week, month, whatever that is, and somebody needs a $400 part, they can simply use the text exception capability, which basically says, hey, boss, I need to make an exception to this particular rule. The supervisor gets that information, looks at it, and says, let me call and see what's going on. You call the guy, and then you respond via text saying, yes, this is approved, and then his card starts to work. All of this is done in real time, right? It is exceptionally beneficial from an operational perspective to be able to do these things. And let me just give you the names of a couple of the fuel stations that offer some kind of fuel savings. Racetrack offers 4% right out of the gate. ExxonMobil, 8 to 10 cents. You get 15% off Take 5 oil changes. BP gas stations are 6 to 8 cents per gallon. Let's see what else we got. You can save on QuickBooks, 30% actually, for 6 months. You can get 10% off at Jiffy Lubes. 7-Eleven is a 7 cents per gallon. Sunoco, 6 to 8 cents per gallon. So these are major retail chains that are hopefully in your area. But, the list goes on and on. Like I said, there's over 30,000 places. Not all of them offer discounts, but a lot of them do because they want your business. And they know that if they can get you to buy the gas, somebody's going to buy something inside, right? So the other little key secret is to be able to monitor how much time someone is spending at a gas station. So are they buying fuel, and then are they still there 30 minutes later after the fuel has been pumped? And that is the time where a lot of businesses buy their drivers breakfast every day because they're paying them a wage to spend 30 minutes at the local gas station. Or do they need to bring their breakfast or get in and out within 10 minutes of filling up and be back on the road heading out to the job site? So that's the type of information that you can see. And you can set things up by group policy, which is great. And you create a group, you assign cards to the group, you can give those cards to the driver, and that card, is then tracked and controlled by those group policies. So you've got a lot of opportunities for managing that information. So if this is something that you're interested in, which I highly recommend you take a look at it. I don't always do this, but this is really a product I feel super strongly about. Then contact us using the link that we'll put in the description there. We'll take you to a web page. You'll be able to read the things that I'm talking to you about, and there'll be a little form there that you can fill out. It says, hey, I want some more info, and we can go from there. And give you a web demo, walk you through the whole thing, and we've got an expert that focuses strictly on this, show you all the bells and whistles, and you can start saving some money. Throw that other fuel card out. Don't be fooled by, oh, this card's free. Nothing is free, right? Every business needs to make enough money to be able to provide you the products and services. The savings that you get from the per gallon thing will far exceed if it's maybe it's $1 a month or something, or even if it's $5 a month. Who cares? What you're saving in 6, 8, 10 cents a gallon in fuel. You save that in the first week of filling up. So keep that in mind when you're looking at and doing some comparisons between these different platforms. Really focus on what's going to give me the biggest administrative bang for my buck and the best control of data versus, this one costs a little bit more. Well, it costs a little bit more probably because it's giving you a ton more capabilities than what you've perhaps been using all along. And this applies even if you've got on-site fueling. Those guys are still going to have to occasionally buy fuel off-site. So you don't think, well, I've got on-site fueling, I don't need anything like that. Well, yeah, you do. Almost everybody needs some capability of buying fuel and other things off-site. So you might as well make it on a card that you get a lot of control and information on, and then just hope maybe you never need it, but it doesn't hurt to have it either, right? You pay a little bit every month for the card, and you know you've got everything covered under a single umbrella, and it doesn't matter if you've got 10 vehicles or 2,000 vehicles. The platform is there, and it's fully integrated with the Geotab platform. So that's it. Give us a call at Fleetistics, and we'll be glad to walk you through it. Thank you, and have a great day.